Hey, welcome to Let's Talk Nation. I'm your man, Rod Love, and we have the general with us, attorney Greg Jackson.
Once again, it's on, Brother Love. Hey, typically we get this thing started, man, by talking about, how our respective weekends went, Brother Love. And, during this holiday season, we just finished celebrating Thanksgiving, and we're getting ready to go into the happy holiday season with Christmas and things like that. But, Brother Love, too many times we have circumstances, situations that take place with their families where this is not a joyful occasion, Brother Love. And so tonight's show is a hard show to do, but a very necessary show to do, because we're going to be talking about domestic violence and its effects on our community. And we're going to have a group of folks that are going to come in and sit down and talk to us about something that has happened recently. But this is a time to talk about the unfortunate parts of the holidays when people are victims of domestic violence, Brother Love.
Brother Jackson, you're absolutely correct, man. And, this is an uncomfortable conversation to have, man, but we have to commend the family that's going to be joining us this evening.
Yeah.
I would ask our audience to call your family members, call your friends. This is a show that may directly impact you, or it may not. But this is a show that you have to watch and get the information that we're going to be able to provide. But more important than that, we want to arm the community with resources and knowledge and power so that what you hear tonight, God forbid you hear it again and it's happening to your family.
And Brother Love, when we talk about domestic violence, it takes on a lot of different faces, but the impact is just the same. It has a horrible impact on not just the victims, but the family of the victims. And when we talk about domestic violence, Brother Love, let's talk to people about what the definition is, not just what people live, but the definition of domestic violence. Domestic violence is the willful intimidation, physical assault, battery, sexual assault, and any other abusive behavior as part of a systemic pattern of power and control perpetuated by one intimate partner against another, Brother Love. So this is something where we're talking about someone who says they love someone, but they bring up so much pain.
Mm-hmm. Greg, earlier we had Miss Monique Morris, we had Carmen Ruiz, that, man, they lead from the front when the conversation is about domestic violence. And again, Greg, this is an uncomfortable conversation to have this evening, but it's one that must be had.
So, Brother Love, let's paint the picture for for our Let's Talk Nation audience. On November 11th of this year, a young lady went off with her estranged husband, with her ex-husband. Her family really didn't know where she had gone, but she had gone off with him, someone that she had a relationship with at one point in time, was married to him, and presumably was going to have a conversation for whatever reason. But she felt comfortable enough to leave home that night with that person. Fast forward, Brother Love. The next day, she did not return home. The day after that, her family became concerned, and they were wondering where she was. They were looking for her. And the Orange County community came together to try to search for and find this young lady who goes by the name of Shakeira Rucker. And, Brother Love, 8 days later, after she was missing, 8 days after her family was praying, and 8 days after the community was praying for her safe return, it was unfortunately found and discovered that her body was found in a storage unit. Brother Love, a horrific scene. And Miss Rucker died as a result of domestic violence from her estranged husband, Brother Love. And you intimated where we're going tonight, but we have the family of Miss Shakeira Rucker, this brave family who is coming in to talk to us about what they've gone through. But more importantly, Brother Love, in much the same way that Miss Stephanie Dixon Daniels did when she talked to our audience about her daughter, Sade Dixon, and what took place with her. This family is going to talk about some of the warning signs, some of the things that people can look out for when this monster known as domestic violence becomes a part of and affects not just a family, Brother Love, but a community and a young woman who was full of life and had children, Brother Love.
Attorney Jackson, what we're going to do, man, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to bring the family in so that we can start this conversation.
Absolutely. So coming up next, please join us as we have this tough conversation about domestic violence.
They break, I fix. Mercedes-Benz, BMWs, Jaguars and Porsche. Joe's Quality Auto Repair. I specialize in European cars. They break, I fix at Joe's European Quality Auto Repair. Located at 1240 State Road 436 in Altamont Springs. They break, I fix. Call me, mention Let's Talk Nation and bring your certified dealership repair quote. And I beat by 30%. Remember, they break, I fix. Call me at Joe's European Quality Auto Repair at 407-409-6040. Again, 407-409-6040. After they break, I fix. Joe's European Quality Auto Repair.
Gun violence prevention, conflict resolution training, positive law enforcement interactions. These are a few program service delivery contacts that the community-based services CBS Accountability smartphone app captures. Good intentions are not enough. Results are what matters. Buenas intenciones no es suficiente. Tener resultados es lo importante. The CBS smartphone app provides the verifiable programmatic elements of the who, what, when, and where. The CBS Smartphone Accountability app captures community service providers' clients' positive and negative encounters with law enforcement as a means to monitor, value, and evaluate relationship development.
Law enforcement needs to get out in the community and out of our cars and build that relationship with the community.
CBS Smartphone Accountability app by CSG Tech Solutions. Don't delay. Subscribe today. No tarde más. Suscríbase hoy.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nation. My name is Rod Love. I'm here with the General Attorney Greg Jackson. But more important than that is we have Ms. Rucker's family here with us this evening. And before we even get started, we want to extend our condolences to you and your family. And we want to say right here, right now, whatever we can do to be supportive. Please let us know, and not putting any organization on the spot. And Doc, I don't know if you got the camera on me, because I want to look in this camera and I want to solicit this organization, because I know they're going to come to the forefront. But the South Apopka Ministerial Alliance, led by Pastor Richard King, Vice President Hezekiah Bradford. I'm looking and I'm asking you to support this family with what they need. You can do it. Attorney Jackson and I, we're going to look to be able to support them as well. But I'm also looking at the community. We need for you to step up, put your arms around this family. We need for you to step up, and if you see something taking place that should not be taking place, get help. With that, Ms. Rucker, Clarence, and Jabiron,
Yes, sir.
hey, thank y'all for coming this evening. Our aim this evening is to be supportive of the family, but also our aim is to help other families that are out there that's watching this, so that they're not sitting in this studio.
Right.
So with that, I gotta ask you all, what can we do to be of assistance to you? Because I know, I can imagine, but I know the South Apopka Ministerial Alliance is going to come through and be supportive. What do you need immediately now?
Just all the support, all the support, all the love, appreciate you guys for having us on the show. Just the support for everyone around Central Florida, around Florida. We just need everybody's support at this moment, because it's a tough time, because we lost our sister and she lost her daughter. So, it's very tough, and we just asking for, if anything, any support, any help, just give it to us. We're open for anything.
Yeah. We need all your prayers as well. All your prayers.
No, appreciate that. Ms. Rucker, there's never a good time to think about the loss of a child. There's never a good time to think about the loss of a sibling. But these are the holidays. And in particular, we're going into what's supposed to be a festive time, Christmas, and families coming together. We just left out of Thanksgiving, families coming together, enjoying each other's company. At this particular time, what is the most challenging part for you in bringing and pulling your family together and keeping your family together, Ms. Rucker?
Well, knowing that Shakira is not going to be with us, that's very challenging. And then her kids, it's even harder on them, because they were so close with their mom. The mom was all they had. They had a very close bond with their mom, and knowing that she's not going to be here to celebrate it with them, it's Christmas. Like,
Have you been able to get any counseling help for the children, for yourselves?
well, it's been offered. It's been offered. They spoke to my daughter about it, so it's been offered the counseling for the kids.
Okay.
Yes.
In terms of going into the holidays again, the children, 4 children. What are the age? Not the names. I want to just say what are the ages of the children?
18, 16,
9 and 7.
9 and 7.
Okay, babies.
Yes.
Even the 18 years old.
Yes.
Still babies. Still babies. Let's talk a little bit about and I read in a news article, and I believe it was you. Are you the younger brother?
Yes.
And you made a comment that stuck with me, very impactful, about no one should go through this. And if it's something that you suspect or something that you see, make sure that you say something so that you can potentially save someone's life. In retrospect and looking back, were there signs that you saw, whether it was you, your mom, the older brother, was there signs that you saw that could have help to prevent what I mean? A fool is a fool. I'm just gonna say it like that. A fool is a fool.
Yes.
Yes.
But were there signs that you could point to and say, hey, listen, if you see this, get your loved one some help?
Just in general, everybody say things, then double back on their words, like, "Oh, I didn't mean it," or "It was just a joke." But sometimes you don't say things, and it's not a joke. If you're saying anything threatening or anything to harm somebody's life, that is never a joke. That's mean you're thinking about it. So if you ever see any threats, any signs of just argument that is not normal, get up and walk away. It might be hard, but just walk away, because at the end of the day, you don't want to set yourself up for anything happening to you. You come up missing or fatality. So if you see the signs, walk away, or just talk to somebody so they'll know what's going on, so they can kind of guide you in the right direction.
Wow. Brother Love, you mentioned something that, and the only thing I can do at this time is read about, what people go through and read about some of the signs. But what you said, it really resonates, because a lot of times what the literature tells us, what the research tells us, and what you're telling us from personal experience, is that there are times when people reach out with their words, and they say things, and they say, but don't worry about it, or I'm okay, or I'm just joking. But you're right, when those words come out, you have to take people for face value at what those words mean when they speak those words. Ms. Rucker, anything that you saw, anything that you look back now and say, you know what, that was a sign. And if I could speak to another mom, or if I could speak to a sister, if I could speak to an aunt out there and say, my child or my niece or my cousin said this, or I saw this, and I would act, or you should act, what would that be?
Well, you have to really know your child, and you know when something is wrong. And we knew, that something was wrong, and she was able to talk, to my son. She got a real close bond with my son, and she talked to him about, everything. So once she, let us know what was going on, we, took her out of that situation, but you just have to be careful, because, he manipulated her, he
He used her.
yeah,
Everyone say they won't change, and my sister was able to escape that situation. It wasn't like the domestic situation. It was just a situation. She just wanted a better life, and he couldn't offer her a better life. And I pulled her out that situation because I knew what she wanted. I knew her goals in life. I knew where she wanted to be at in life. So I pulled her out of that situation, because he couldn't build her up like I could have. So I got her out that situation. And a man, as man, we tend to say, hey, we want to come back, hey, we changed, but deep down inside we ain't changed. We didn't change at all. We was the same person when we was with them. A man, you got to look yourself in the mirror and want change. You can't just get on the phone or send a text message and think you changed through a phone conversation or a text message. No, you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, I want to make change for myself. I got to change for the love of this girl. I got to change for the sake of her kids. And I got to change for the sake of my kids. And he chose to play her by saying he changed, but he never changed.
Wow.
As two brothers sitting here, I got to ask this question. This is a very uncomfortable conversation to have. And I saw the vibe, I saw the emotion, I saw the protective factor when I walked into the lobby area that you two have for your mom and for your family. What would you say to the audience that's listening? Because you just said it, man. Some people are not going to change. But the other side of that is, what can we do when our loved ones are in this situation? And we're constantly whispering in their ear saying, hey, because it happens. I mean, I'm sure, just as you said, we're having these conversations. What would you say to the audience that, you gotta continue to have these conversations? You can't give up. What would you say?
You just got to stay on it, even though it may aggravate your siblings or get on their nerves. You just got to stay on it, stay consistent. Because, you'll see the red flags. Somebody rushing to do something, rushing to propose, anything like that, you'll see the red flags. So you just got to stay on her. Communicate with her. Communicate with the kids. Just got to stay on it.
If a guy cannot build a relationship with the female's parents and brothers and sisters, then you don't need to be with him. If he's sneaking to do things with you, he don't needs to be with you. If he's not building a relationship, the most important thing for a guy or anybody, if they were trying to get in a relationship with you, they need to build a relationship with your kids. Build a relationship with the kids. The kids will tell you if the guy is right or is he for you if he's not. If the kids always want to be around him, that mean they like him. But if the kids can't stand him, that means he's no good. That means it's the signs, the red flags. It's time to go.
Yeah. And you all bring up some interesting points. Were there instances where you felt as if he was pulling her away from y'all purposely, trying to keep you all away from her?
Yes.
Me and my little brother never had a conversation. We never got properly introduced to this guy. He always isolated her, so we never got to know him because everybody know how protective we is over her. So we would have sensed it. We would have automatically. But he just kept her away from
the
us.
proposal to the marriage. It was all
everything was just
secret.
Fast.
Yeah,
Everything was
red flag.
fast.
Yes.
Everything just fast.
Wow. Now, when you say fast, I'm curious in this. What's fast? From the proposal to the marriage, what was the time frame in this?
to the marriage.
From the meeting to the proposal to the marriage, everything.
Yeah,
was
we
fast.
we didn't even know that she
was
hadn't
like
got
a matter of
married
months?
until afterwards. He talked her into going somewhere and get married, and we found out later.
Now, and I'm assuming this is something that's shocking to you all. That's not something that she would normally do. She was close to family, had
Yes.
conversations, and to have someone to come in and to put that wedge in, to take her away from family. He sounds like a predator.
Yes, yes.
He sounds like a predator.
Yes, because he would move far out. He wouldn't stay close around. He would move far out, east side, Kissimmee, away from, the family. Yes.
Wow.
So if you're speaking to some men, if you're speaking to parents, and I'm talking to your sons now, because what they're saying, they're giving a lot of other brothers and mothers the information that they need. If your children, if your daughter, and domestic violence happens to men as well, but if your child is being isolated from their family, that's a red flag.
Yes. Yes.
And I have two daughters. Greg has a daughter.
Yeah.
For me not to know my daughter's friends, I'm gonna be the cavalry. So when I listen to your sons and I listen to them telling our audience, here's a red flag. Watch for it.
Listen, once again, this is Let's Talk Nation. We have the family of Ms. Shakeira Rucker, who's here with us this evening, having a very tough conversation at a very tough period in time. This is a holiday season. This is not a time when we would want to have this type of conversation. And again, we want to thank you all for having the courage to come in and have this conversation and to make some outstanding points, because there are things that you all are talking about that a parent or that a brother or sibling may have seen or may have had a feeling about, and they were saying, I'm just going to let it go, or it'll wear off over time. But Clarence, I believe what I'm hearing from you is that it didn't wear off over time. You had to take steps to go in and say, hey, listen, I think it's time for you to move on and to better your situation.
Yes.
What was that conversation like?
Just the relationship with me and my sister. So when he decided to move in Kissimmee, I don't think he knew he was close to me. So
He didn't even know you well enough to know where you lived.
he didn't know I was close by. So my sister used to come to my house. Sometimes she'll ask me, "Am I up?" And as a brother, I'm up. No matter the time of the day, I'm up. So and she'll come by and she'll just talk to me about certain stuff that I didn't like about him, how he handled my sister as far as like conversation wise or doing stuff for her. Like I never wanted my sister to beg for a man to do anything for her. That's what me and my brother's for.
And the thing is, she never had to.
She never had to beg anybody for anything. So she felt like she was in love to a guy that pretty much forced her to move all the way somewhere that she didn't want to move, but she decided since she was in love, she wanted to move there. But literally, he knew I was right down the road. I wasn't too far. I was only 20 minutes. So she, we got real close, got real tight. I started seeing the situation, what was happening. So I told her, like, let me get you out of that, So I was able to put a U-Haul in my name. I went to her house, moved her out, and so she can start a new life. She moved with my niece, and I guess they separated for a couple months.
So Clarence, what I'm hearing too is that he used finances as a weapon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me ask you this, because, and y'all help me out with this, but nowhere in this conversation up until this point do I hear anything about physical abuse. Was there any discussion or any concern that it had become physical, or was it all just kind of verbal, psychological up until the point that you moved her out?
No, it was never nothing physical. Me and
It was verbal and psychological.
Just a person come move with.
And then it goes from that little bit that most men or women think, this is just talk. These are just words. This is somebody just trying to control me, but I'm going to get out of this situation. It went from that to this predator deciding that he was going to exercise God's will and take someone's life.
Yeah. It's because he knew that it was over. He knew that she didn't want to have anything else to do with him. So she loves seafood. She loves seafood. She'll travel to go to seafood. So that was his way of getting her to go with him that night. Because she, several times had told him to leave her alone.
No, she said.
Told her, no, she don't want to go. Leave him alone. And so, we had a conversation that morning. Me and him, he texted me, had a conversation.
The guy?
Yes, We text each other that morning, and and I was, because he comes to the church where we be going to.
Right.
And so I was telling him, I apologize because we're in the same church. And it's not godly like when they tell you to go shake hands or whatever, and then I'm passing by you because of, you going through it with my daughter. So I said, I want to make it right by God and by man. And, the text and everything, it was good. So why he did that night,
Let me ask this question. From all accounts, and the only thing that the public has been able to reference is what's been put in the media. One of the things that was put in the media was this guy had a record out of state.
Yes, we found out later.
Yeah. So was that knowledge that you didn't?
We did not know
we
that.
Didn't know.
Until, but that day she went missing. We did not know. We knew that
not even the age difference either.
Like we didn't know
nothing about him.
Secret. He kept her away from us. We didn't know nothing about him.
So what was the age difference?
She was 37. He was 51.
So age, finances,
Isolation.
these are just some of the signs. And listen again, we can't say thank you enough because not only are you educating us as parents as to things that we should be looking out for, but you're also educating our audience on things that they should be looking out for. And it's even like the small things.
Yes.
You know, and if they were a little bit younger, you'd say it was almost like puppy love.
Yes.
You know, just the guy that just likes a girl, just wants to spend a whole bunch of time with her and things like that. But these little things, Brother Love, these little things are signs of bigger issues
Yes.
with the person that is willing to go to the extremes to exercise control of, because this was all about, if I can't have you, nobody can.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
what it was.
And the thing about it, she hadn't gave her life to God, living for God and everything, and she wanted to do right by God. So her marrying him, I'm thinking that she felt, you know, she was
She thought that
doing
was
the
the
right
right
thing
way.
because, you know, she was, you know,
From the past relationships to no good guy, she thought she found a decent
yeah,
guy,
she
church.
really,
Somebody's in the church.
But listen, that's what we tell our kids. You meet a guy in the church, you meet someone that's going to treat you nice, and that's the person that you settle down with and things like that. So by all accounts, like you said, your sister, your daughter, she was doing it the right way. She felt like she met someone, an older guy, a more established, can you know not come with the foolishness, but he was with the foolishness.
yes.
Let me tell you, I don't know that you could have ever imagined that your family is as large as it is, because Attorney Jackson and I, we've gotten folk that are from Plymouth. My father-in-law and them lived in Zellwood.
That's
They
where
lived
we
in-
came from. We were born, raised in Zellwood.
and Miss Mina Robinson. I mean, Nadia Anderson.
Yes.
The first thing they started doing is saying, hey, what can you and Greg do to be supportive of this family? And Greg and I said, one, let's make sure we get that story out. Let's make sure, and I got to take my hats off. When I saw the first news break that your daughter was missing, I saw Sheriff Mina and his team. You know, you can be critical of law enforcement for other reasons, but law enforcement, in my opinion, stayed on top of this. And they brought it to an unfortunate conclusion with finding out what happened. Now there's a process. You got the state attorney, State Attorney Andrew Bain. You have the courts. That's going to be a process. But you got people in the community, I got to tell you, again, Nina, Miss Nadia, man, folk in Plymouth and Zellwood, they're standing up saying, what can we do? But I want that same audience and population to know, and this goes to Orlando, this goes everywhere, Kissimmee. This just don't happen in isolation. This is happening everywhere.
Yes.
And Clarence, I got to tell you and your brother, Greg and I going to be calling on y'all, because normally the show before we did this one, we had Miss Monique Morris, we had Carmen Ruiz, who are domestic violence survivors. I got to tell you two brothers this, and Mom, I got to tell you, in this time of sadness, I mean, you got to be proud of your sons, because
Yes,
what I'm going to say to y'all too, I don't know that you've ever been domestic violence victims, but I tell you what you're saying to our audience today, I just got to be blunt. You need to be out front leading on this topic in this conversation.
It could save lives.
Yes.
Yes.
It can save lives.
Yes.
Question, and Brian, I want to go down the line, because one of the things that sticks out to me is how strong you all are at this time. And I know that you all lean a lot on family, but just each one of y'all, just kind of tell us what's giving you your strength right now. What's keeping you going? Because this is not an easy topic. But I still see smiles. I still see a willingness to discuss what can be done to help other people. So, Jabari, where's that strength coming from?
Oh man. Well, faith. I mean, we always since little kids we've been in the church, so we got a strong belief in God, and we know He's real. So He's giving us a lot of strength. But I got my nephew with me. I see him every day, so I got to be strong for him too. It's just family. You got to be strong for everybody, man. You can't fold. You can't break down. You gotta,
Yeah, gotcha. Ms. Rucker.
Well, like he says, the faith in God, I've been living for God for a long time, and I know what God can do, and I know what He will do. And knowing that my daughter was living for God, and so I know where my daughter is going, even though, we don't like what's going on, but, we find peace in God, and He has given us the strength to endure.
Clarence.
My sister. She's given me the confidence to speak to you guys and to spread the message on the news and to spread the message throughout social media. She know I'm very shy as far as talking to anyone, but for some reason I've been very open, very willing, because I want to spread the message for my sister and for those that's going through anything.
Wow.
Like, you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. Talk to a friend, talk to a coworker, talk to anybody, talk to the neighbor, talk to someone, because you're not alone. I'm spreading this message for the sake of my sister. No one should have to go through what she had to go through. If you see the signs, if you see the conversation, if you see the text message, see the phone call, leave. And don't be afraid to leave, and don't look back once you leave.
Let me say this. This process of justice, it turns slowly.
Yes.
And as it turns, I see the resilience in the family that you're going to be there as justice moves toward prevailing. But I want you to know that you got a community support behind you. It's going to be court appearances. You're going to see everything in the news. And it's going to be painful. But I mean, sitting here listening, and my Reverend King, preacher, he will always say, let go and let God.
That's it.
And so I know I speak for Attorney Jackson as well as myself. Hey, y'all, please. Lean on us if you need to. Lean on the community as you see fit. I have no doubt in my mind that the South of Pop Ministerial Alliance is going to step up.
Okay.
This is the time when we need family.
We have a caller on the line.
And community.
So it sounds as if we have a call on the line, and caller, we appreciate you for being a part of tonight's show and tonight's conversation. Let's talk about who we're speaking to this evening.
Shakeira Rucker.
I'm sorry?
Shakeira Rucker.
Sound like you say Deidre.
Yeah,
Deidre Ruff.
Is
Deidre.
this Deidre
Deidre.
Rucker?
Yes.
Hey, Ms. Rucker, how you doing this evening?
Hey, I just want to bring community awareness and let them know that we will be starting a foundation for Shakeira Rucker. It's going to be called My Sister's Foundation. It's advocating for women that's in these situations and let them know that they don't have to suffer in silence. And also to bring more support and resources for women, because I believe that domestic injunctions are just like a minute compared to other resources that's available to them. So I just want to let them, the community know that we will be starting a foundation in regards to Shakeira Rucker.
Miss Deidre, this
Say that
is,
foundation one more time.
yeah, say the name of the foundation again.
My Sister's Foundation.
My Sister's Foundation. Is there a website or email address that we can put out there?
No, sir, in the works. It's not official yet, but I'm just getting the word out there.
Okay, please get that to us once you get some information so that we can share that as well.
Okay, I greatly appreciate it.
So I want to say thank you.
And
to,
also, like,
oh, sorry, go ahead, Ms. Rucker.
focus on too for, I don't know if you can hear me, advocate for women is reporting too. I want to incorporate that, reporting of a missing person. I'm going to push the initiative for law enforcement to kind of take different steps when it comes to reporting of missing persons. Because sometimes if you don't say the right things, sometimes families don't know what to say, and they're not properly or in a timely manner. So I'm going to see if I can push at a national level for law enforcement agencies to change their policy for reporting of a missing person in danger.
Miss
That's an
Deidre,
outstanding
Miss
point.
Deidre,
Yeah.
that is outstanding. And Brother Jackson, I know you with me on this. What Brother Jackson and I will do, because I hear you saying you want to take it on a national level. Well,
It's,
let's do it in our backyard with whether it's Orange County or with the state of Florida. Let's go ahead and line up those elected officials. Let's get their name on the dotted line to be supportive of legislation or a local ordinance. And let's start in our backyard and let's grow to a national level.
okay. I'm totally with it. And what most importantly, what brought this to my attention is when we were working on multiple counties and jurisdictions, I noticed that they handled them differently between Lake, Seminole, Orange, Mount Dora, and Winter Springs. Most importantly, I spoke to the detective at Orange County who said that they changed their policy almost 2 years ago after they got a call for service for a missing person, and it pretty much was swept under the rug. And a couple of days later, they found out, she was a victim of abuse and she was found deceased out on 528. And they changed their policy significant. So when they get calls for service regarding the missing person, there's certain protocols that they have to follow. However, other agencies are not aligned with the same mission because not to call out any other departments, but Winter Springs did initially take the missing person report serious.
Yeah, that's that, and thank you, Miss Deidre Rucker. We appreciate that. Let's turn that conversation to what Miss Deidre is talking about, because a lot of times what we hear is if it's an adult, and you make a missing persons report, they don't start moving on that until the person's been missing X number of days, as opposed to if it's a child. I think it's hours that they commence the search. Just kind of going off of what Ms. Deidre was saying and bringing awareness to this, because I think this is very important.
You're right.
What was that process of reporting a missing person in this particular instance?
They didn't ping. It was 24 hours or something like that before they even pinged her phone, and they end up towing her car, which we told them her car had never been moved. Her car was not, she wasn't even in her car. They towed her car, impound it, but then tow his until they got, I guess, a little more information about him. And then that's when they found out that he had killed somebody in Virginia. And that's when they really started working on it. But we had been telling them about the lock the storage lock that we found in the drainage over by his house. Nobody never looked into that. I told him about he had a storage.
Yeah, we
Nobody.
told them
The next day, they didn't look into it.
So what I mean, when you're telling them this, what is the response coming from law enforcement?
Well, Winter Springs kind of like brushed it off. They brushed it off, and 3 days later, that's when they get the call about did they smelt the scent at the storage, and the storage wasn't too far from his house.
And from what Ms. Deidre was saying, there appears to be different policies based on the agencies, because this went across 4 different counties.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if I'm hearing this correctly, there were 4 different policies, or excuse me, I don't say 4 different, but there were different policies across the different agencies that you all were working with.
Mm-hmm.
Was there one agency that you all went to that you felt was, hey, they're listening to what we're saying right now?
It was OPD and Lake County. They was listening to, but they said they couldn't only do so much because Winter Springs was handling the case. But Winter Springs, they admitted that they never handled a case like that. But they didn't want to turn it over to nobody else because they wanted to work the case. They never handled anything like that.
But here's something. Here's something that I want to empower the family with, and Attorney Jackson and I, we will be 100% supportive. Eric DeBose, who also happened to be a task force member for Orange County, when we saw, unfortunately, a high number of incidents of homicide in Orange County, he served on the task force. Eric DeBose also is former law enforcement. Eric DeBose is also the chairman of the NAACP Criminal Justice Committee here. So just as your daughter Deidre was talking about, how can we look at legislation so that there's uniformity across all law enforcement agencies? I would say Greg and I will help you. Eric is a good man. Now let's give them something to work with.
Yes.
Absolutely. And again, just want to point out that what Ms. Deidre was saying, and I'm sure that the whole family is supportive of this. There's going to be a foundation started called My Sisters Foundation. And what is going to be the focus? I think I know, but I don't want to presume. What is going to be the focus of My Sisters Foundation that you all prepared to get this foundation up and running?
Well, I haven't spoken to them about it, so I'm not exactly sure. But I know everything they're doing is for the kid, for her kids, So I'm not, I haven't spoken to her.
It should be just a foundation to build for the kids, to help the kids, to build them in the right direction. Because they're out without their mom, so we're just trying to guide them and build them in the right direction, and just to show them the signs. They're still young, so we're just going to teach and show them the signs. Because they're going to need all our guidance and all our help. So if we're able to show them the red flags and just the right direction, that's the most important thing. We just show them the way.
And I want to talk to y'all a little bit about this, but as parents, one of our legacies is our children, and what better way to honor Ms. Shakeira is to allow her legacy to become, the next doctor, lawyer, business owner, judge, to go out and do great things in this world. And so, as Brother Love is saying, whatever it is that we can do to support what you all are doing in this space. Beyond today, because listen, at some point in time, the cameras are going to go off, the reporters are going to stop calling, things like that, and you're going to have to know that there's still people out there that's got your back. And Brother Love and I want you to know that we will be that constant that has your back. And if you need us, that you can call on us. But with that stated, as I said, when I came in, one of the things that impressed me about the family is the fact that we still see smiles at this time. And in my mind, that's because there's still some wonderful, beautiful thoughts about Shakeira.
Yes.
Talk to me, if you all can, about the Shakeira that you knew, the legacy that she left in your life, the impression she left in your life that gives you the ability to smile as you sit here at this time. We're going to start with Claire. We're going to go this way now.
Just everything she stood for, everything she built, just the love she always showed. Me and my sisters we was very tight. And even though she's not here, she's working magic. And trust me and her will have that conversation when I see her again, because she worked some magic for me, and she know what she did. So I love you for that. But just all she wanted was to be loved, to be loved and be respected. And just for her kids to see that she was happy,
Wow.
because that's all we want. All we want to do is work, go home, and feel the love when we go home, and that's all she wanted. All she wanted to do was be loved, and and she changed her life for the good, and for someone to take advantage of her like that is downright disrespect, because you knew what she stood for, you knew what she wanted out of life. And for you to just take her as a sucker is very disappointing. And knowing she had kids, and even you had kids, is very disappointing. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Wow. Ms. Rucker.
Shakeira was a loving person. I mean, it took her a long time to get to where she had got. And she was happy with the way her life had been going. And her kids, she had then got her a place because he talked her out of giving up her place. So, her job and everybody came together, helped her, got her a place, got her back on her feet. She never used to drive. Shakeira got her a car, learned how to drive. I mean, she every time you saw her kids with her. She was a loving person. She was church and work. That's all she did, church and work. and she just wanted to enjoy life. You know, she thought she was doing the right thing. She thought she had found the right person, doing right by God. She just wanted to live life fully and have a better life for her children. She just wanted the best for her and her kids, and she was happy. She was happy with the way her life was going. She was just saying, you know, how what God had did, and you know, she was just happy, a happy-go-lucky person, good, happy-go-lucky person, go-lucky person, and she just wanted to live life to the fullest. She did. She had so much in store. She did hair. She loved doing hair. She had started back doing that, just getting her life back together. You know, because she realized that she had made a mistake, and she tried to avoid it. You know, but things happen in life. But I thank God for the time that He did give me with her, because she was a sweet child. Never got into any mess. She didn't like confusion. She did not like it. She did.
Devon, what brings a smile to your face about your sister?
Beautiful sister. Just everything. She, you know, she was trying to just piggyback from what my mom said. She was just trying to do the right thing, trying to do what was right. Just my beautiful sister. She didn't hang God.
She
She
did.
went to church, worked, took care of her kids. So I just found a card that I gave her for Mother's Day, and I had like a PS, like, I'm so proud of you for changing for the better. Like, I admire that. I just, yeah. But yeah, just that bright spirit. Yeah.
She was happy with the way her life was going. She was happy.
And I'm hearing the bedrock of what's keeping y'all together is your faith.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. She just moved in her apartment. I texted her on that same day, early in the morning, September 29th. I texted her at 9:09 in the morning and let her know, like, hey, this is a new beginning, you know. So, and she know what it took to get where she was, to get to that place. So, you know, just don't go backwards, you know, and just do everything for your kids, for the sake of your kids. And if you need any help, you know, we're here. You know, so she just moved to her place, and she just was starting a new life, because she called me, was asking me about a microwave, and I'm like, no, I'm not giving my microwave up. You know, I need my microwave. So, you know, and I told her, I'm like, man, Black Friday is coming up, so just hold off on buying stuff for your house, you know, until Black Friday. You know, it's going to be deals. So she was like, you know, she was saving up for Black Friday, and to know that she didn't get an opportunity to just build up her place, you know, it sucks. It hurts, you know.
So let me ask this question. And, you know, I see that the memories is what's bringing the laughter and the joy. How many siblings? How many brothers and sisters?
I got 3 brothers, 3 sisters, so it's 7 total. 7 total kids.
Now, who's the oldest?
Deidre,
Okay,
their oldest daughter.
That just called in?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, now who's the oldest son?
I got an older brother, Dante.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I will tell you, like I said, just walking into the studio tonight, although I was walking in heavy-hearted. I'm not going to tell you no lie. Brother Love had to call me to come in. I was sitting in the parking lot. I was like, Brother Love, I said, it's going to be a hard conversation, Brother Love, but I'm going to tell you, just from the moment that I walked in, I think DeBron was the first one that I shook hands with as soon as I walked in the door. And then I got the Clarence, and then I got the mom. You all, the love that you all have is infectious.
Yes.
And the love that you all have is what is going to help those kids. And not just the kids, but it's going to help the family to continue to move forward and push past this time, because, you know, it's a lot of folks that aren't lucky enough to have a little brother that looks out for a big brother that writes the PS, I'm proud of you, or the mom that's there saying, hey, you know, keep going, you know, you know, keep doing what you're doing. You know, I'm proud of you as well. You know, you're a shining light. There are not a lot of families that have that, and so you all have each other at this time, and it seems as if collectively you all have Shakeira in y'all's hearts.
Yes.
And it seems, and I mean, listen, I never met her, but I feel the love for her through you all, just from the conversation, just from just walking to the room that you all are in. And so I can only imagine, the light that she was able to share while she was here with us and with you all. So
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
I have to say, Greg and I, we never have to reach for words like we're doing this evening. Normally you can't shut us up. But, what you all are coming to do tonight, you may not realize it right now, but it's helping somebody.
yeah.
You have sisters, brothers, friends out there that's watching this, and everything that each one of you have said when you talk about some of the red flags, some of the signs that were there, the isolation, using finances as a weapon. And I think you said it, Clarence, if you don't get to know your mate's kids, that's a red flag. Jabiron talked about how quick the engagement to marriage was. I mean, these are some of the things that we take for granted. It's, that old saying about the best place to hide something is in plain sight.
Yes.
What y'all are doing this evening, you're helping not somebody's out there. But the other thing, I know I'm going to get some calls, and I know Attorney Jackson's going to get them too, is we have a tight relationship with the clergy, not just in Apopka, but across the state. And your faith, man, I tell you, I'm listening to y'all talk. It is, man, I tell you, it's the bedrock of which is keeping you going.
Yes. Yes.
I know my wife's, and I guess it's my auntie Lulu too, but she's watching this, I'm sure, and be like, Rod, ain't nothing but God.
Yes, that's true.
So, Attorney Jackson said it, and I can't reiterate it enough. Our hearts are heavy.
Yes.
But you can count on us, and we're going to be pushing other folk. Your daughter, Deidre, was talking about legislation to see how we can get law enforcement jurisdictions uniform. Well, Eric DeBose is going to be somebody that I'm going to give y'all the number to, but also that's going to be somebody Greg and I call.
Okay.
We got to understand how to navigate through this process, and part of the navigation is calling our elected officials at the state level and at the local level to say, at least let's sit down and have a conversation about this.
Yes.
But Brother Love, just kind of along those same lines, as I'm sitting here thinking, the whole Amber Alert system came about because of how missing children reports were made and how they were addressed. You all have brought up an excellent point that we never thought about, and I don't think any families really thought about unless until they've been put in this particular situation. But you're absolutely right. When it comes to reporting an adult that's missing, and especially when you are providing key information about things that should be looked into, there needs to be clear policies and parameters as to what should be done within a set period of time. Now, I'm not law enforcement. I wouldn't purport to be, and I know that law enforcement has a very difficult job. But I think that with the advances in what's taking place, that's an easy ask. I think that's an easy ask. Come up with a uniform way as to how you're going to deal with a missing persons report, especially when you're getting reports from the family about, hey, this is not like that person. Because we've heard far too many times about, and that's what I said, with a missing person report, my understanding is that they don't even start looking until 72 hours later. And to me, that's ridiculous. Especially when you know someone has left their home with someone and they may be in danger, point blank and period.
Yes.
And so, these are great points that, like Brother Love was saying, we definitely have some calls to make and some things to talk about, because that is key to keeping young ladies and young men in our community safe as well.
Yes, because when my granddaughter called me and told me that her mom hadn't came home because they say they received a text like 6:30 saying she was on her way, but she never showed up. So when my granddaughter called me, I called him and asked him where was she. He said he had dropped off at 6:30. I said, well, she's not home. I said, you didn't call to see if she made it home. Well, you know how your daughter is. You know, she says she don't want to be bothered not to call her. After she done been with you all night, she would tell you this. That's what I told him. He was like, yes. But he was lying all the time. And,
So
and
you actually
then
had
the
a
text didn't
conversation with
even
him?
come from her. Now that we realize it came from him. He texted from her phone as though it was her.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I had a conversation with him that morning. We text each other. I mean, I called him, and he was trying to act like he was just hadn't woke up.
And my other brother was able to get in contact with him through the Facebook Messenger. He called him through Facebook Messenger. He answered the phone like, "Yeah, I dropped her off in the front, by the mailbox, and it was some guy standing out there. But as a man, don't you supposed to
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
watch?
he
If you
just
love, like you
As
said,
a man,
you would
you
have
know,
been calling and
you supposed to
checking to see,
protect.
like, did y'all find
know,
her?
As a man, you don't. If you're not going to drop her off right there, you're going to drop her off somewhere else because of the alert of another man. You know,
But we know that was all.
it didn't make sense. You know. Then he said, I'll call you back right back. I got to take an important phone call." Like you didn't care.
But then I reached out to some of his friends from his hometown. I went on his Facebook and reached out to some of his friends from his hometown, and he had told one of his friends that he just messed up, but he didn't tell him what he had done did, from Virginia. And that's when I found out about he had done shot somebody up there. That's when they told me about he had done killed somebody up there.
Well, in closing, I want to say to the family, we're here. Please lean on us as you see fit. I'm inspired by what I see of this family. Albeit this is a sad occasion, Mom, I got to tell you, you've done some great work sitting on both. You got anchors.
Thank you.
And so Attorney Jackson and I, we're going to close by just telling you and your family, we have heavy hearts, but you know what? We're not going to leave y'all.
Thank you.
And I'm asking the community to be supportive. If we talk about social media and all that kind of stuff, burning up with all this stuff that's nonsense, let's look and see if social media is going to talk about domestic violence.
Yes.
And what to look out for.
Yes.
So with the family, once again, you have our deepest condolences, and if you need us, please let us know, and we'll be there for you. Mom, you got two anchors that, man, no, I see where your rock's at.
But no, just once again, as Brother Love was saying, and I think that Clarence said it best. If you and I'm paraphrasing right now, but if you see something, say something.
Yes.
And as this family has indicated, no one should have to go through this. And the thing that impresses me, that's more impressive on me more than anything else, Brother Love, is that domestic violence that leads to death is not always physical violence. It can be something, as we sit here now and say, as simple as keeping someone away from family, the verbal abuse, the mental abuse that can lead to someone not going home to their family and spending time with their family for the holidays. So, again, to the Rucker family, God bless you all. You all are a strong family. You all are a loving family. And I know that God will see you all through this time.
Yes.
But again, as Brother Love, I can't reiterate this, anymore, but as Brother Love said, if there's anything that we can do for you all, don't hesitate to call on us.
Okay.
Hey,
Thank you.
to our audience, this is not a long goodbye, because we're going to wrap this up right here and now, because family, we want to just tell you we love you, we're going to support you, and please know that you can lean on us. That's it for Let's Talk Nation. We'll see you next week. We ask and encourage you, please continue to support the family.